What's up, y'all? It's Corey Pender. I recently went down to MEPS, sworn with the Army as a 15 whiskey with an option 40. A 15 whiskey is a unmanned aircraft systems operator, and option 40 is airborne ranger. So that's pretty sweet. Kind of talk about my MEPS experience a little bit. So let's see. I went down Sunday and went to MEPS on Monday. You have to stay at the hotel the night before. It was pretty cool, I guess. I was rooming with somebody who was going to be a Navy nuke, so that was interesting. Dinner was good. Food was great. You wake up at 4 a.m., I believe. Yeah, 4 on the day that you go to MEPS. At 4:30 you got to be down, get ready to eat breakfast, and about 5:20, 5:30 you load on the buses to go down to MEPS. I went to the Atlanta MEPS. It was about 15 minutes away from our hotel, so that was pretty cool, I guess. So when you pull up into MEPS, you have to, bus stops, everybody has to pull out their ID, you show the guard, I guess, your ID, and keep on driving. You pull up to the MEPS, and you have to stand outside and wait about 15 minutes, and when you do, or when, I guess, ours was Petty Officer Ramos. I don't know what their job is or what their title is, but they work at the control desk. They walked out there and basically they split us up into lines. It was people taking tests, ASVAB, D-Lab, that good stuff. That was all in the front. Full physicals, which is what I was, behind them, and that was on the left-hand side. Shippers were in the middle. It was Marine Corps, Army, Navy. Those are the people we got shipping out. And then people that were just swearing in were on the left-hand side. And you have to walk through. They have a metal detector. You walk through. You have to take everything, your belt and everything off. Open up your bag. You sit it on the table. You walk through the metal detector, and somebody searches your bag. Make sure you have no weapons or stuff or anything like that. And you go and you put your bag in a room. And it's locked up. It's safe. Don't have your phones on you. Have your phones in your bag, turned off. They'll stop your processing if your phone goes off or if you have it on you. So after you put your bag up, you go to your liaison. For me, I was medical. I wasn't taking a test or anything. I'd already taken my ASVAB. So they give you a medical packet. And then you sit down in the room, and I guess I don't know who they are, but it was Lieutenant Carson from the Coast Guard was our person. She walked out there and gave us a speech and talked about sexual harassment and sexual assault and this, that, and the other, and welcome to MEPS. And then you go and you have to do all your fingerprints, and they take a picture of you. Make sure your name is spelled right on your name tag and on your paperwork. They spelled my name wrong. They spelled my middle name wrong. And it took them 2 hours to fix. I don't know what it was, but yeah, it took them a long time to fix. And so make sure everything's spelled right. If your name's spelled wrong, go to the control desk and let them know. They'll get it all, what's the word? Whatever, you know what I mean. So then after that, after they got my name and everything situated, I went and they have a little room, and it was all of the guys. We were sitting in there, and you have to fill out the sheet. Basically says, have you ever been depressed for more than 2 weeks? In the past 2 weeks, have you ever been depressed? Do you abuse alcohol? Do you abuse drugs? How many times do you drink a week? If you do drink, how many times have you drank in your whole life? Just stupid shit like that. Best thing to do is just answer never on everything. No, 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 never. It doesn't matter. And then they'll sit you down and you'll look, or they have a PowerPoint coming up, and the guy will basically tell you, if you're lying, you get $10,000 fine and 5 years in prison. It's a bunch of bullcrap. You're not going to get any of that. And then he basically has you fill out some more paperwork. It's a lot of paperwork, and a lot of hurry up and wait. But after we got finished with this paperwork, I had to get my blood pressure done, my vision done, and my hearing done. Blood pressure, it's just what it seems like. They wrap that thing around your arm and it squeezes it real tight and does in the blood pressure. For your vision, you walk through and they have the thing that you look into, and basically you have your near and your distant vision. And so I was 2017 near distance and 2015 far distance. And then you have your hearing, and you sit in a soundproof room. You can hear everything in there, but it's whatever. You put on headphones, and basically they play different pitches, and you have a little button thing, and you press it, and all that good stuff. And then after that, normally most people would have done that before they filled out all their paperwork and had to sit in a little room, but because they messed my name up, I had to do that during then. And so then after that, I went and gave my blood sample, which is just for HIV. That's the only thing they're testing for. And if you are HIV positive, they will send a paper home to you and your parents, and they'll call you back, and you'll have a meeting with a doctor and stuff. Or at least that's what they told us. And you get your blood drawn. It doesn't hurt. It's not bad at all. It's just one vial, 1 2, whatever the hell you want to call it. And then from there you go and you give your piss sample, whatever, your pee sample. And yes, they sit there and they watch the pee come out of your dick, or your, whatever you got. They watch it come out, and you have to go and you have to pour it into this little tube thing, or this little cup that has a top on it. It has to be exactly 60 milliliters. I went a little over, and he told me it has to be exact, so I had to sit there and like a scientist pouring everything through. And then you go and you give it to a guy, and he tapes it, and you basically verify everything and say, yes, that's my pee, I saw you tape it, and basically they just check you for drugs. And then after that you go and you sit in a waiting room, and they pull you back into your examination room, and you strip down to your underwear, socks, everything off except for underwear. And that's where they do like the little physical stuff, rotate your arms around, hands above your head, and slap them down to your side without slapping your legs. The duck walk's really easy. Just remember heel to toe, just heel toe, heel toe. People wanted to walk on their toes, and it took forever. Heel toe. All that's really easy. A lot of people say they're listening for popping and stuff in your joints. That's not it. Popping is actually a healthy thing. For the most part, it's healthy. And so they're basically just seeing if you can follow simple directions, and you don't, you haven't lost a foot or something, which they should be able to see, but they have to make sure. So you have to do that, and then you wait, and they take you, and then a doctor calls you back, and you go and you sit there, and he asks you, just a bunch of random questions. Have you ever done drugs? A lot of this, they ask you a lot of the same questions over and over. Have you ever done alcohol? Have you ever done drugs? Have you ever been to the ER? Have you ever, been to like an overnight, or stayed overnight in a hospital? Have you ever done this, that, and the other? Then he has you stand up, and they have like a set of eyes on this wall. You look into those, and he takes a little light, and he looks into your eyes, and then he puts it in your ears, and you have to plug your nose and close your mouth and breathe out and make sure your ears pop. And then after that, he listens to your heart. He has a stethoscope. He listens to your heart, and he listens to your lungs, and then you lay down, and as you breathe in, he feels your lungs and everything, make sure all that's good. And then he gets a chaperone in there, and then you have to drop your pants below your knees for guys, and he pinches your balls, and it hurts really bad. He looks you dead, or my doctor looked me dead in the eyes. I went like this, put my nut right between his finger, and pinched it, both of them. And then he has to check for a hernia, so you turn your head and you cough, and you keep looking that same direction. Don't turn, cough in his face. He'll disqualify you. So keep looking the same direction. And then you gotta bend over, or then you gotta turn around, bend over, and spread your cheeks, and you look at your asshole. No finger goes up in there, no, none of that. So that's all good. And then let's see. After that, you give your packet back to your nurse, and you go sit out, and they call you up to the front desk, or of the medical room, the front desk of the medical waiting area. They give you a piece of paper, and you go to your liaison, and you give it to your liaison. And if you're like me, you're good, you're done. You call your recruiter, and he picks you up, and you go home. So yeah, that was pretty much it. And then, after I went home, the next day, Tuesday, I picked my job, which is where I got the 15 whiskey with the option 40. And Thursday, or Wednesday night, I stayed at the hotel, and Thursday I went back to MEPS, and that's when I swore in and did everything, so yeah. But it's all pretty cool, it's pretty easy. Don't get freaked out, don't get nervous. Sorry for the long video. But yeah, that's pretty much what MEPS is for a guy. Gotta take it easy.